Hey everybody, this is Tracy Kima with My Sweet Home Living. Come on in today. Welcome. We're doing something a little bit different today. I have received so many messages from you guys, and every once in a while I'll pop in with something a little bit unexpected that maybe you've been asking for, but you didn't maybe know that I was planning on showing you or doing it or whatever. So hop on in here. The popular request has been for me to show you guys this cabinet, this decorated cabinet behind me, what I decorate it with, how I decorate it, how I stage it, and how I change it out for the seasons. So you all come on in here. We have a little bit of Happy Mail to open up first before I show you how I decorate my cabinet behind me. So come on in. No crafting today. We're decorating. We're decorating today. It's been a while since we've done a decorating video. So I think you all will enjoy it. Hello, Miss Grace from Oregon, Miss Matricia. Hey, Miss Jackie, how are you? Pam, we're up close and personal today. We're a little closer than we normally are because we're not crafting. I'm going to be showing you how I decorate my hutch behind me today. So I'm so excited to show you guys that. And lots of the items that I use to decorate with are a lot of the items that I have shown you guys how to make on previous videos. So if you see something that you like today, chances are, hey Miss Tammy, hey Kathy and Susan, Cynthia and Robin, hey Miss Christina from the Rust Covered Cottage. I'm just busting right into this Happy Mail. I need to wait and show you guys at the same time. Yeah, we're just not crafting today, we're decorating. So hop on in here, I've got some fun stuff to show you. Yes, you caught me live. You caught me live. If you have trouble catching me live, you guys, the best thing that I can tell you is to make sure that you're on my Telegram channel. It's just like getting a text message. You have to have an app, but it's free for you. It's free for me, so it's like a win-win. And you get a notification like the day before, and then you get a notification right when I go live. So my Telegram channel subscribers have already received a notification that I'm live right now, and it gives you the link that you can click to and brings you straight to my page, you guys. It doesn't get any easier than that. So y'all need to hop on there. If you need that link, there is a little link icon somewhere down at the bottom of your screen. Hey, Miss Pat. Hey, Melissa. There's a little link icon at the bottom of your screen. If you tap on it, one of the links that'll show up is My Sweet Home Telegram notifications. You can sign up for there, and they're free. Okay, so my Happy Mail that I just was about to bust into without even telling y'all who it's from is from my friend Debbie from Secondhand Treasures. We did a crafting duo it's been about a month or so ago, and she was on my page, and you all loved her, and I told you that she's like me. She loves things that are vintage. I'll speak proper English here in a moment. And she likes collectibles and things like that. So she's always having some good fun. So I can't wait to see what she said. Hey, Miss Susan. Love Telegram. I know. It's so easy to use, you guys. So if you're not on there, you're missing out. You're missing out. And a lot of creators, and Craft on the Clock sends Telegram notifications as well on theirs. So, and I'll stop shaking my screen. I apologize. I'm shaking. I didn't happen to know that I'm actually touching my tripod, and I kept thinking, why is that wobbling? Yeah. Hey, Beth. Hey, Pam. Hey, Susan. You love Telegram too. I know, you guys. I think so many are afraid to use it just because it's something unknown. But if once you start using it, you'll get the hang of it. Yeah, it's really easy. Hello, Miss Penny. How are you, sweet friend? Juanita and Daryl. I'm so glad y'all are on. Hey, Miss Mary from Ocean Breeze and me. We're opening a little bit of Happy Mail, and then we're going to decorate. We're going to decorate. I'm going to show you how I decorate and kind of walk you through the process of how my brain thinks things out, which can be kind of scary sometimes. But I'll just walk you through how I decorate my cabinet back here and show you all the things, okay? So I'm opening this Happy Mail, and there's tons of goodies in here, you guys. Miss Debbie from Secondhand Treasures sent me a pack of oh my. Let me make sure I got it all out. See, the first thing that caught my eye, you guys. Oh my goodness. Look at those vintage stamps. Aren't those neat? Oh my goodness. I should have tagged Miss Debbie in the comments. If somebody wants to tag Miss Debbie, type in @Secondhand Treasures, all one word, and it'll tag her. That would be awesome. Sent me a little brown paper tag. She's got lots of paper goodies in here, lots of vintage paper goodies. Hey, Miss Stacy. Hey, Joy and Philip from Days Gone By. Oh, she always makes the prettiest cards. I'm gonna have to wait though, because that's kind of stuck and I don't want to rip it. sent me a vintage bingo card. How fun is that? Oh, some ribbon that says Merry Christmas. I didn't flip my camera around, you guys. Let's flip the camera around. We're just having a comfy Monday afternoon. A comfy Monday afternoon. I'm all for that. And we're going to do a little bit of decorating here in just a minute as we have folks that are hopping on. I can't wait to show you guys. Y'all have been asking and asking and asking for me to show you the cabinet behind me, to show you how I decorate it. So that's what's on the agenda today. After we open a little bit of Happy Mail. There we go. Y'all are tagging Miss Debbie. Thank you all so much. She sent me some hymnal pages. She has so many good vintage finds. And she sent me I guess this is just, I know this may have some kind of special meaning. I'm not sure. I may have to ask her about that. Or she may have just put that in there to protect the paper goodies, I bet. But I'm so excited about that. Happy Mail. I can't wait to use these little vintage stamps. Those are so cute. Thank you, Miss Debbie. Thank you, thank you. Okay, you guys. Well, I thought about like taking this whole cabinet, taking everything off and starting from scratch. Hey, Miss Cindy from Making It with Mimi. How are you, sweet lady? I almost said sweet friend and sweet lady at the same time, and my brain almost combined those two words together. I do that quite frequently. Quite frequently. Sometimes my brain just doesn't, my mouth works faster than my brain, or vice versa. I don't know which, but it can be dangerous. Anybody else have that problem? Thank you. Hey, Miss Debbie. So probably what I'm going to do now, you all never mind, because sometimes I have some little random items that are tucked up in there, and sometimes when my boys come home, they'll lay some random items up here, and I'm like, nope, that's my space. That's my space. So you never know what you might find tucked in here. So we're going to kind of undress this little cabinet back here behind me. I am going to kind of push my camera over just a tiny bit, and you're not going to see the far edge right here, but just barely missing it by a sliver. And I'll show you all the way to this edge when we're finished too. But for right now, let's try to center it, and we'll go from there. Hey, Miss Melanie, thanks for hopping on. I see that Francis must be, now my camera is backwards, so I'm having to move my camera the opposite angle than what it looks like on my phone, you guys. Now, I'm going to take all this apart, but I can't promise you that I'm going to be able to put it back exactly the same way twice. I just don't. And some of these things are connected with light cords, so this will be interesting. So I'll talk about some of these things as I take them off and as I put them on too, so that you guys can kind of get an idea of really some of the things that we've actually made on videos here, and some of the things that I have just grabbed along the way, because I'm always looking and hunting for unique items in the most random of places, you guys. And I have some odd items that are tucked in here too, that are hidden, that I use to kind of prop up things. So you never know. You never know what you're going to find in something like this at my place, okay? And really, this kind of sometimes can kind of be the catch-all spot. If I've made something and I don't have a place for it, I'll just kind of like toss it in here. Anybody else have that problem? Hey, Miss Lisa, thank you all for hopping on. So everything that's connected with a light switch, I'm going to have to be careful with. I'm going to take it off very, very last. But there are cords that connect things everywhere through here. So that's why I'm just trying to be careful. So let me show you. We're kind of decorating on this side, undecorating rather, over here. Whoopsie, there's another random battery that's tucked under there. I told you, you never know what you're going to find tucked in these little cubbies. So you guys are getting the real first-hand view here. So let me unplug things, and what's going to start getting dark. Not like really dark, but all of our little decorating corner here is going to get dark for a second. You all know that I love adding lights anytime I'm doing things, and sometimes I get a little carried away when it comes to lighting. That's just me. I mean, you probably have something that you really, really like and you find yourself using a lot of, whether it's, you might love dishes or platters, or you like to go overboard with greenery, or textiles, you know, different things that kind of just suit your your niche, you know, what things that you like. And my thing is lights. I love lights. I can put lights anywhere and everywhere, you guys, and still always feel like I have a need for more. And I especially like to use them during Christmas, because to me, you can never have too many lights. You can never have too many lights at Christmas. So we're really kind of down to the bare bones here. And I have all kinds of random. Let me pull this out. Ooh, and hopefully we don't break anything in the process. Okay, so let me pull this out. Now, I told you guys this is a hodgepodge, okay? This is sort of like my throw it all spot, okay? So here we've kind of almost got it down to the bare bones back here. So let me kind of toss it over here to this side. I'll kind of show you from the back and work my way up. So I just have, let me pull this off, so I do not want to break that. Now, some of these things that I have on here, some of them are expensive, some of them are not. Some of them are just cheap, like, no. No, I don't need that on there. It just ended up on there. So let me pull this other box. This will be my little prop box down here, so I don't have to reach all the way down to the floor. Okay, now some of these things are sentimental, others not so much. Okay, I should have brought my little dusting wand, because I could have dusted this off while I was at it. Just some random greenery tossed in there. Okay, now this is where you see lots of the random items popping in here. Okay, all right, lots of greenery, you guys. You can never be too wrong with greenery. I always stuff in the greenery more towards the end, because that's my filler. Uh-oh. All right, I'm knocking everything down. I'm pulling out all my clutter over here in the corner. Boy, y'all didn't know y'all were going to help me clean and organize today either, did you? But at this time of the year, I kind of find that, like, I'm kind of ready to kind of settle in and get my nest made. I'm not really ready to, like, do a whole lot of, like, new things, new decorating and things like that. So I kind of like to just kind of clean, and then do some last minute things that maybe I just didn't get caught up on around the house. So that's what I'm doing this week. I'm getting caught up on all my gift shopping. I'm getting caught up on some just cleaning, just some dusting or reorganizing and vacuuming, those kinds of things, you know, so that I can be ready, you know, the next week to kind of really hit the home stretch before the holidays. Hey, Miss Jody. Hey, Miss Mary. Thank you for sprinkling us out. You love the lights. I keep a lot of lights throughout the year. Yes, I know. I do too. I do too. So let's start over here in this corner and I'll just kind of walk you through it, how I decorate it. I'm running out of room here. What I typically do, and this just makes sense because of the shape of this cabinet, okay? So, let me pull this out. And I'm going to show you some of these items that are kind of always tucked in the back. And these are dusty, you guys. I'm not going to lie. Nobody said I was a good housekeeper or house cleaner for that matter. So it is dusty up here. I should have brought my little dust wand up here. Okay, now, well, that didn't work out so well. Hang on a second. Okay, now, somewhere, I have no idea what that is. I have a light remote. Okay, now, my little, excuse me. I have one of these greenery swags that I love to get from Hobby Lobby. Okay, I'm taking it down so I can kind of show you up a little bit up close. This is just a greenery swag from Hobby Lobby, you guys. All I did was take whatever short light strand that I had at the time and twisted it around this and hung it in the corners. I have like 2 little push tacks in each upper corner of my cabinet and then in the center. So if you were able to see right up here in this corner, that's what I have. And now my light already has like some hanging lights underneath of it. So I use those a lot. It has a low and then it has a really bright. Okay. I usually keep it on low because they get kind of warm. But everything else is really low light. So I can kind of have a different level of light depending on a different time of the day or what we're doing. Okay. So then all I do is I just take this and I hang it in each corner and in the center, and that kind of gives me somewhat of a backdrop to start with, at the top anyway, okay? Now, at the bottom, I really hope that cooperates with me while I'm live. Now, at the bottom, what I do is a little bit different, and it's just kind of a filler. I take a pitberry garland. It's just white. Okay, the little berries on it are white. They do have a little touch of green on them, but not enough to notice. And this carries me all year round. I keep this right here all year round. It's just a basic cream, and it kind of ties in with the cream color of my cabinet. So I like to use repeating colors all the time. You'll notice, if you've ever watched any of my older decorating videos, some of them can be kind of scary, but if you've ever watched any of my older decorating videos, I say that a lot. I usually pick like 3 colors that I constantly repeat in any kind of little area that I decorate. And mine are typically a green, a cream, and a black or a brown. Black and brown kind of go hand in hand. So those are the 3 repeating colors that I use throughout my whole home for the most part. And then during the different seasons or the holidays, I will add in little pops of different color. Okay. Hey Beth. Hey Jean. How are you? Let's see. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Lisa. Now we've torn it all down. So what I've done, we're just rebuilding it here basically. I need to have my husband cut me out a little light hole in each corner, and that's on the honey-do list. And so that I can string my cords through the back corners, and then the cords won't be seen. So for right now, what I do is I just string a little extension cord up the side. This side of my cabinet's it's in a corner where it's not very visible by anywhere else in the house, so I'm okay with that. So I just do that, and that's what I've done for lots of years until I can talk him or remind myself even to do that. That's what I do, and that's not going to cooperate with me. I need to put a longer little tack up there, or put like a little longer screw up there. That's what I need to do. And I see what else has happened here. This has come off, so that's why it's pulling on it. All right. So that's easy enough. I plug in those, and you can't really see those very well from your angle, but it kind of hides that upper corner and then just gives me a little bit of greenery at the top. Now down here at the bottom, oh my gosh, you guys, this is, you know what a lot of this is? A lot of this is cinnamon. I know exactly what this is. There's a lot of dust, but there's a lot of cinnamon too. All right, so then what I do, I have this 2-tiered little serving tray thing, okay? So I put my faux apple pies on the bottom. Okay, we made this on a video, and then I put my faux pumpkin pie at the top. I kind of need to golden up my crust. It's kind of faded over time. I need to go back in and freshen that up and bring out the golden color in it a little bit better. Okay, so what I do, I have these random sprigs of greenery that you see that I've just tossed in there just to kind of tuck in a corner. So that's what I put in this tall corner, okay? That's what I do. So what I do to this corner, I have to do to the opposite corner. I need something with height in this other corner. So moving over to this corner, what I put over here is just a vintage stoneware crock, okay? Black crock with some greenery. I change that out with the seasons, and it's good to go. Sometimes I put like some vintage like kitchen utensils or whatnot in there. But for the most part, it's just like seasonal greenery, okay? So I have some red berries, some pine cones, and then I even take some of the little bit of the finishing end of that light strand and weave it in down there, okay? The other good thing about this crock is that it is so heavy that if I have to run a cord through here, I can run a cord through around the back corner and weave it out the back, and this holds all the cords around that back corner and keeps it from cluttering up my space, my tabletop space, if you will, okay? All right, so this little thing, it stretches from one end of the cabinet to the other. So then I work my way back over. I've got a black, I've got a white, and then I'm going to carry a black right back over here. See the repeating colors that I'm using, and I just alternate them, okay? Now what this is one of these punch tin, this is a Paul Revere lantern. I can't remember where I got this. You guys can find them. If you look hard enough, you can find really good deals on them. Sometimes you can even find them on Amazon, okay? So what I do with this, though, is it's not quite tall enough for the space that I need to put it in. So I use props. I use like random props to kind of hide and cover up my spaces. So I just use this little urn. It's just a little iron. It's not cast iron, but it's really light. It's a metal urn. I grabbed this somewhere along my adventures. So what I do is the perfect size. So what I do is I prop this up on that, and then that becomes a little bit taller of a display. And this is never seen. So I know that looks kind of funny, and I wouldn't display it just like that, but to tuck it in the corner and to give me the height, that's what I do. And I do that a lot. I use things to kind of stack things up. I know, Misty, I love it too. It's one of my favorites. So I kind of like to tuck that right back there in that little cubby. And you can see the cord, it stretches all the way through here, but another good thing about this pitberry garland is that it hides my cords that run along the back. You can mask all kinds of things. All right, so let me get the rest of this cinnamon and random dust and objects off of the top here. Whew. Okay, now the next thing I do is I kind of like to build it up from the back even more. I've got this empty spot over here, which I have a black and a white object on this corner, so I need a black and a white object both over here. I've already got my black object, so what I like to do, add a little bit of reflection. I'm not a big person when it comes to mirrors. I'm not real crazy about using mirrors. So what I like to do instead is to use objects that are brighter, that will actually kind of reflect that light. So what I like to do is use one of my platters. I mean, how many of you have platters or dishes, packed away that you never use? Some of your family may not even know that you have them. Bring them out and use them to decorate with, and that's what I like to do too. If you have them, use them or display them at least. If you're going to display them, you'll be more likely to use them at some point too, rather than tucking them away in a cabinet or buffet or whatever. Okay. Hey, Miss Jill. Hey, Carla. Hey, Bobby. Thank you all for hopping on. So what I like to do with this, I prop it up right behind these other objects that are already here, and I can kind of tuck the side, maybe, hold on, this thing is heavy, and I went to knock that down. I sure did. I'm gonna have some longer screws up there than that. Usually when I'm not in here like fidgeting around, it stays up just fine, but since I'm in here moving stuff around, I'm knocking it over everywhere. So I prop that up, and that gives me a little bit of light. This is heavy enough that it keeps this upright from sliding or falling, okay? And then I need a white object, so I take another one of my dishes. These are dishes that I got when my husband and I got married. So it's like, it's something, they're keepsakes, they're usables, and I will use them more. I'm stirring up dust and it's getting all in my nose. And I will be more likely to use them if I actually pull them out. So that's what I do. I just put them on display, and occasionally I use them. Occasionally. And if not, at least I get to see them. They're not tucked away hidden. Tucked away and hidden. All right, there we go. That little pitberry garland, I was sitting on top of that with that platter, and that's what was causing me problems. Okay, so that little corner is kind of done. Now, I like to tuck things. Let's move towards the center a little bit. I like to tuck things, I like to pack things in, you guys. We have a smaller-ish home, considering we're a family of 5. So we're limited on space, just like I'm sure a lot of you probably are. And so I love things. I love things, okay? Yes, I do. I like to collect things. I like to decorate with things that make me happy, and there's lots of things that make me happy. So I've got to be strategic when it comes to using them or decorating with them, in order to have more of the things that I want. So what I have found is that I only have so much horizontal space, but I can start, once I fill up that horizontal space, I kind of need to take up my vertical space. So as I've kind of evolved and I've collected things over the years, I have learned that I like to stuff things in so that I can get as much as possible in the smallest amount of space. So that's what I love to do. Small risers. Yes, I love small risers, and that's exactly what I do with that little urn. Okay, now let me think here. I'm looking at everything I had on my table here that we took off. Sometimes I'll just throw a little random piece in here or there. If I have something that I collect and I don't have a spot for it, guess where it goes? It just gets tucked in the background, and it just, until I find a new spot for it. I had someone ask me the other day, do you have a warehouse to store all your stuff in? Oh no. I wish. No, that could actually be pretty dangerous if I had a warehouse. No, I just have our home, and I have a garage, which is packed to the max. It's not like overly cluttered, but yes, we're a family of 5 and we have stuff. I have kids that have sports and sports equipment, and I have a kid that has a vehicle, and it's just stuff, so I try not to add any more stuff to the mix in the garage. I try to keep all of my stuff in a few little designated spots around my home. So when I create with that in mind. I create intently because I want them to be things that I'm going to use, or otherwise I'm probably not going to create it, or I'll have gift it, or whatever. So everything that I create, typically I use to decorate or I gift. So I don't have room to let it sit most of the time, right? So that's just how I do it. All right, so the next thing I have here, guys, you've seen me put this together. So let me kind of take some of these items off, because I know so many of you hopped on. That little thing fell off again. I'll rework that after the live today, but it's going to be stubborn for now. If it falls down, it falls down for now. We created these little pantry cakes a few weeks ago. I love anything that has little candle lights. You all know that because I use these a lot when I take photos of things. This is something that I bought. I think I got this from our friends at Days Gone By Vintage, actually. Days Gone By Vintage Market. I always leave off the word market. Sorry about that. Okay, now this, let me show you. This is just a cutting board. If I saw it and I knew I was just going to use this as decoration, it really doesn't kind of really fit my style because of the hard, the jagged edges and stuff. But I know I can decorate it up and kind of mask the parts of it that I don't like. And it can kind of serve as a riser in this little area. And that's typically what I do with this. So I go in at an angle, okay? I take that and, let me move that over. Okay, see how that's at an angle? And then over here in this corner, I do the same thing. I take another dish and I put it at an angle. And I'll put it up there in a moment. But let's go ahead and let's decorate this one up with the items that we've made. Okay, we did a thrift store book. We decoupaged it, coffee grunged it, and it smells amazing. But it's just as Mrs. Claus's coffee shop. Okay, I usually kind of prop that up in the back. Everything I do just is a tiered. It kind of staggers. So I've got really tall interest, down a level, down a level. This is kind of down a level, and then I just keep staggering it and stair-stepping it all the way down. So if you're cramped on space, that's the best way to do it, is just to cram it in, but stagger it, okay? So I have a little, this has cinnamon and sparklies on it, a little cloth napkin. I propped that up there with one of my little pantry tarts. I so wish y'all could smell this through the camera. It smells amazing. Smell. This is just one of the little pantry cakes that we made last month. If you want to find the video tutorial on how to do that, you can go back in my video collection either on YouTube or on Facebook. The video is in both places. It was so easy. Now the bottom's not quite so pretty. All it is this dried out cinnamon coffee dough. It's dry. But the top, I show you how to jazz it up, decorate it up for Christmas. And it's such a cute little accent. And I put that right there. Put that right there. Okay, I can't make any promises that I'll decorate this exactly the way I had it, but it'll be close enough. And then I take this little candlelight and I prop it up on the side over here. Okay, let me kind of ease that camera back over there a little bit. All right, so then what did I have on the edge? Oh, I just have a little doily that I sit over here on the side. You can use all kinds of things, you guys. These are just random items that I have around my home that I just have. You know, we all have stuff. Use napkins. You could even use, excuse me, towels. If you have some really cute kitchen Christmassy or holiday towels, you could even use those. Now, what did I have? I think this is what I had sitting over here. Some more of the little pantry cakes. I set them over here on the side. These need to be freshened up. You can see when they need to be freshened up is because they start getting white. They get really dry. And so I freshen them up with a little bit of my coffee grunge and a little bit of dusting of cinnamon, and it'll jazz them right back up to that color. But I stack those over here on the side, kind of beside it. I've got some of my faux peanut butter cookies. I'll just kind of, you know, sprinkle those around here and there, wherever I have an empty little spot. And then, let's see, did I have that up there? I guess I did. I have this little milk bottle, was used with a Starbucks glass coffee, like an iced coffee thing that we've made. We made that back early in the fall. I guess I had that tucked in there. I didn't even realize it. That's a little buttermilk. We've rusted the lid and grunged that up. And then over here on the very far corner, let me show you. Where did that little, okay. So this is another project we did. We did a printable. Now my light is really glaring off of it. It's really not that shiny in real life. I'm trying to see. Back here, well, the light's still shining off of it. I just made this and I prop it up over here in the very far corner. It's not quite tall enough for me. I wish my chair would reach a little bit farther. So what I do is I take just a candle. I have like an old tin candle. It's black. Anything black kind of blends into corners and cubbies. So if you're using props, you can use that. So what I do is I take that and I set that right on top of it, and it makes it just tall enough to where I can stick it over here in this corner, and it's perfect. So let me show you what I do. I should have probably put that in there before I put that in here. So let me kind of stretch my camera over there. So I put this down in the corner back here by my little stoneware crock, and then I set that right on top of it. And it kind of hides that little corner. No empty corners around here. And then I just slide that right back up against it. And I love how all those colors just kind of blend right in together. Okay? All right. So I know what we forgot to add. I have several of these. And I love putting lights in them for Christmas. So all I do is take some fabric and some cheesecloth, tie it over on the side, put a little bit of greenery or whatever you have, stuff it in there, put a string of Christmas lights in there. Excuse me. And then you're good to go with a soft little light feature. That's what we had back here. I thought felt like there was something missing. Okay, and I set that on that very back corner of that little riser. So let's shift things a little bit to get that to fit. I'm telling you, I take up every inch just about. And then all I do is I kind of weave this cord through here. And over here to this extension cord that I have hiding in the background back here. So y'all hang on just a second and I'll plug this in. And there we go. Hold on. Almost had it. There we go. All right, and you probably can't even see, you can see a little bit of the sparkle coming through there, yeah. At night, it's perfect. It's perfect at night. So, and even if you have a little bit of space down here at the bottom, you could take your cookies and do it at the bottom. What I like to do under that, actually, though, oh, I know what I need to do. I have these little greenery picks that I have taken apart that I usually kind of tuck in the little empty corners. It kind of hides cords. It kind of just hides where things meet together. If that makes any sense. It just kind of gives a little bit of softer edge. I have one of these little mini cast iron skillets that I grabbed at the Dollar General a couple of months ago. I coffee grunged them up so it gives them kind of that rusty grungy look, okay? And it smells amazing. Then I have more these little pantry cakes and tarts in there. I usually will tuck that right under there. See, there's space where I can just keep stacking. I can keep layering. So I'm just going the steps all the way down. Sometimes I put it over here on the edge. It just depends. It's whatever you want, honestly. I need to put some little soft things on the bottom of that though, because I don't want it to scratch my cabinet. All right, so we're going to leave that right there. So we're kind of good with that little cubby right there. Whoop, there we go. We're kind of good with that whole little corner right there. Okay, so now let's kind of work our way from the center over here to the edge, and it's going to go by really quick. Really quick. We've got like 8 minutes left. All right, so I love these little jars, you guys. We made these a couple weeks ago. We used tea bags, and we stamped them, and then cheesecloth the top, berries, and of course, you know, just some little whatnots tied on it. But these are printable labels. If you want to go back and see how I did these, it's very similar to the little jelly jars that we made. I just love these little small pieces because it takes me all the way down to the base level. These little smaller items like these little jelly jars. But usually I kind of tuck this in the back. What did I have this stacked on? I thought I had this stacked up on something. Maybe I didn't. Oh, I had to. I don't know what I had that stacked up on. I've got so much stuff on my table here, I don't even know. Oh, well, we'll find a spot for it in a minute. Okay. What I also like to use a lot of times to make things tall, a riser or whatnot, are these candlesticks. This was like a dollar store, Dollar General candlestick. It's just wood. It's black. It's in my color scheme. I use black repetitively. So anytime I find like something that I like the shape of or the style of, and it's in my colors that I pick or use a lot, I just grab it. I may not use it all the time, but it's there if I need to switch things out for the seasons. So that's another handy dandy tip, and I use that right over here in the corner. But let's go ahead and let's add this tray. I know I did not take everything apart on this tray. We'd be here all day putting this cabinet back together, you guys, but I will show you up close. This is our little cookie tray, and I've kind of got things a little wonky. This was our faux cookies that we made several weeks ago, and our little punch tin lantern. My lampshade's a little crooked. I'll have to fix that. But it's just tucked with some greenery, some Excelsior, some little pine cones. It has a little cloth napkin, some vintage cookie cutters, and then we have the milk for Cena. We used a Starbucks bottle, you guys, and we used a pickle jar to make the lamp. We did. If you missed that, you have to go back and catch the replay. But I showed you how to make those faux cookies. We made everything on this tray, with the exception of the greenery and the cinnamon sticks and the little cookie cutters. We made everything. Okay, so I have this little lamp. It has cords to light it up. So as you know, I've got this cord that runs right in under here, under this tiered tray. So I just take these cords and I stuff them. Ooh, sorry. That cord hit my microphone. So I take those cords and I stuff them under that tiered tray, that serving tray. And nobody ever sees them, you guys. Nobody even knows they're there but me. So I'm going to plug these in. Okay. And then all I do is stuff the cords right under that tray. Okay, and it hides it. Okay, let's fix this little lampshade. I've got it all crooked. Okay. So just like we did this little tray over here, we did it at an angle. Okay, we crisscrossed it at an angle. That's what we're going to do with this little tray on this side. And this is just a wooden tray that I grabbed on clearance. I think it was maybe on spring clearance at Hobby Lobby. Anytime you can get a little wooden tray or dough bowl that kind of fits your style, grab it. You never know when you'll use it. So I just take that and I crisscross it from this direction. This little lamp, I have to push it back a little bit. Okay, so there you go. How easy was that, right? So I've got tons of things of interest at all different levels. My little hole right back there, I've got to fill that with, I could put our tall snowman back there. I usually keep him on the side, but since he's so tall, I think he'd be the perfect fit right there. What's keeping him from? There we go. Oh, I'm going to knock that greenery off. And he just fits right in there. Perfect. Okay, there we go. How about that? Isn't that cute? Okay, so then I have to dress up this last little sliver of space right here. And that's super easy. Super easy. I just need something short and tall to kind of fit in that space. So here's what I do. Where did I do? Oh, I was like, where did it go? What I like to do there in that little spot, I like to have a little bit of color. I've got some red over here, okay? I've got red here, up here. I've got just a little splash of red right here in the center with our snowman and these little things. I need some color right here. So what I do is I take a little red cloth napkin that's, you know, quartered up, and I kind of will tuck that in right like that. I like to let it hang over the edge a little bit. It doesn't all have to show. I kind of tuck things and hide corners and edges. So then I have this tall candlestick that I just told you about. I usually like to kind of tuck it right back in this little cubby. Okay, so see how I filled a little bit of space right there, but I'm going to put something right on top of that, and that's one of our grubby jars. I take a little garland of red berries, wrap it around the bottom, and this plugs in. I have one more plug, okay? So I string this through the back. I'm not going to worry about plugging it in right now. And I sit that right on top of that candlestick and then plug it in at the bottom. Okay, and that's my last little light cord that I plug in. Do you see how much? Oh, can you see that? So then I need something right here in front of it to kind of hide the view of into the cave right there. So what I can do is I can take our little snowman jar that we created together, and it fits perfectly right there in that space, just like he was made for it, you guys. Is that not adorable? So all of those items were things that we made. Let's see, 1, 2, the pumpkin pie, the apple pie, the faux cookies, the pickle jar lamp, the Santa milk jar, that's 7, the snowman, that's 8, the little mini pantry cakes, tons of those are like 9 and plus some. We did, the little jelly jars, that's 10. We did the decoupage book, that's 11. We did this milk jar, which would be 12. And then I'm not counting all of these pantry cakes individually. And then we have the baking powder tin can. So we're over a dozen items that we kind of put together. Now, if you want to kind of count the little lamp, we kind of did that, the little cheese grater lamp. Oh, and I usually tuck this in there too. I don't know where I had that. We'll just set that right there for now. And we have a little cookie cutter that kind of got lost somewhere in the shuffle. We'll just toss it over here. And then all I do when I get everything kind of where I want it, what I do, the last thing, I just take greenery, if I have to pull them apart, and tuck them in all of the empty spaces, you guys. So there you have it. There you have it. You got to see it from start to finish, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. We do have another creator coming up live right now over in the Craft from the Clock group, Miss Cheryl from Tinker's Cart Art. You guys go check her out. She's amazingly talented, and I know she would love to see you over in the comments. Thanks for joining me today. This was fun, right? Okay, take care, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye, y'all.